Hello and welcome to Sports Update this evening. I'm Emmanuel Fashimi. On Update, you're sure to get all the sporting updates all around the world, from Nigeria to other African countries and straight to Europe and every part of the world on Trust TV. Once more, welcome to the show Sports Update. And I will not be doing it alone. I have a regular, a friend and a brother all the way from Plateau State, Vom precisely, joining me. That is in the person of Michael Abba Idoko. Quickly before Michael Idoko will come on, let's go straight to the first story we have for you, where the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, AFN, has rescheduled the World Athletics Championship National Trials that was supposed to come up on that was bid for 6th and 9th July, but it has been moved forward from 5th to 7th July. That is when the national trials will now happen right there at Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium in Benin City. Michael Idoko, the AFN has deemed it fit to move these trials, the national trials for the World Athletics Championship in Budapest that will be coming up. They have rescheduled the national trials for this particular date, which is actually a good one. It helps the athletes who have already prepared themselves to maybe to get busy before that time, and it's just to put them in shape so that they can actually have a lot of time to rest. Let's not forget that the Budapest Championship, the Athletics Championship in Budapest, will be coming up in August. So what the AFN has actually done right now is to bring forward the date, so that the athletes can have enough time to rest, to have enough time to keep themselves in shape, going to training, do all they can to actually go and do well in that championship right there in Budapest. And for AFN, that information was rolled out yesterday evening, that the national trial has been moved forward from initially it was supposed to happen from 6th to 9th, but right now it has been moved forward from to 5th to 7th of July right there at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium, where we have a world-class facility in the city of Benin, Edo State. And I can tell you, if you go to Benin City and Delta State, they have one of the best. Facilities right now when it comes to maybe stadium facilities in Nigeria. You cannot take that away from the South state, Benin City, Delta State, Akwa Ibom. Let's not forget the stadium in Akwa Ibom, the Eket Township Stadium. So a lot of facilities right now in the country is in the South region of Nigeria. And we also have the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja, which is in the North Central. So we want to have more of these facilities. Let it not just be Benin alone. Let it not just be Delta State alone. Let it not just be FCT alone. Let also have it in places like Kano, Kaduna. We know the Ahmadu Bello Stadium in Kaduna has been revamped. It has been renovated, brought to a better standard. We also have this stadium in Lagos, the Onikon Stadium, the Mobolaji Johnson Arena. These are some of the facilities we should have. We should have it all around the 36 states, so that whenever we have championship or what trials, we can just pick any of the states and then go there. Okay, Michael Idoko is ready for us right about now. AFN has rescheduled the national trials for the World Athletics Championship. Is that a good decision, or is it a good move from the AFN?
Yes, it's a good move from the FN. The saying goes, the earlier the better. I mean, if you look at the athletes, they are already in shape. They've been going through speed work in the last 3 months. And that's the reason why you have 3 Nigerians at the NCAA finals. I mean, in Favour Ashe, Gotin, Brume, and then, of course, Omuzurike, Akintola Alaba. 4 Nigerians in the finals of the NCAA, and all of them running under 10 seconds. My boys are already in shape and they are ready. So even if they bring it to 2nd July, I think they are ready. I just want to make sure that the coaches ensure that these athletes stay in shape. Afash, I see this team, I mean, going as far as winning a medal in the quartet, especially the 4x100 meters, because you can't have 4 athletes running under 10 seconds. All they need is just to establish a team chemistry I tell you what, for the first time in almost 20 years since Athens Olympics, Nigeria may just get another medal in the 4x100 meters. I mean, we apart from the Commonwealth Games and the World Championships or Olympics, we've not had a medal in a long time. And I see this formidable quartet as the best we've had, I mean, since the Ezinwa brothers era.
Now, since the Ezinwa brothers era. Now, if you look at it this time around, over the years, athletics has been one of our sports in Nigeria outside football. But for some time, we actually went back, we went sleeping, and like they used to say, the sleeping giant couldn't actually rise. But right now, we are back. We are back again. We are back again. We are doing strongly. We are doing very well. Like you mentioned, all our athletes, the likes of Favour Philly, Favour Ashe himself, Godson Brume, Alaba Akintola, Toby Amuson, a lot of them, to mention just a few names. Now, what can the AFN do to get the better of these athletes, one? And then secondly, we also need, at least we need a backup. Now, we need a backup, because once these guys fizzle out, where are we going to? Where do we go? What do we do? So how are we going to get a backup? What should the AFN do right now to actually make athletics another sport, so that we
they need to,
and then translate that to the world?
Yes, first of all, the athletes are quite young. Most of them are still in their early 20s. I mean, unfortunately, Favour Philly doesn't seem to be at her best right now. The same thing with Chukwuma, but I believe the girls, within the next couple of weeks, they will be ready in shape for the final, for the Budapest showdown. I believe Favour Philly has what it takes to make it all the way to the finals, even though we have athletes like Abby Steiner, I mean, Julian Alfred, for the United States team that are ready to battle her. But I believe Philly has what it takes to be in the finals. But I think the AFN needs to organize more meets in the country. I mean, we need to have more classics. We need to have more Grand Prix. All these tournaments reveal new athletes to us. Let's not rely wholly on these 4 athletes. What if they have decided to run for other countries? That means we'll be running short of athletes by now. So we need to look inwards, train the athletes that are available, that come for competitions outside the Nigerian track and field athletics championships. We need to organize more championships, at least 3 to 4 before the Nigerian athletics finals, so that we can discover more athletes to complement the ones that are making us proud, blazing the trail at the United States of America.
Blazing the trail at the United States of America, AFN, you've heard that from Michael Idoko. You just need to organize more classics so that we can discover athletes. If we can have 100, 200, 500, 1,000 athletes who are ready to don the colors of Nigeria, we will be happy if we have them and they dominate the world. Because America and Jamaica, they've dominated the world when it comes to the short distance races over the years. But Nigeria can also pull their own and can also pull weight when it comes to the 100 meter, 200 meter, 4x1, 100 meters relay race and what have you. But good one for the AFN who have actually deemed it fit to move this date forward to get all these athletes and see how we can do well. Come Budapest, I think I'm I'm confident, I have that faith that our Nigerian athletes in Budapest, Hungary will do well this time around, and probably we might be getting more than 3, 4, 5 medals in all of the sports that we'll be participating in the World Athletics Championship. Now let's move away from that story and head straight to the next story, where the World University Games right now, Nigeria may miss games that will be coming up in Chengdu, as it's called, China. Now why? Because of lack of funding. Now the NUGA, Nigerian University Games Association, has cried out because of paucity of fund. The trials went down right there in Benin City. That was a few weeks ago, where we actually got about more than 20-something athletes that will be representing our university at the World University Games. But right now, they've not gotten any penny from the federal government, from anywhere, to prepare these athletes, and we're just few, what is months? I think it's just a month in between. That is by August, this event will be coming up, but our athletes are not ready. What is going on?
Yes, it's so unfortunate that the athletes are not ready. For your information, I want you to know that my immediate younger brother, Enejo Abba, will be the coach for that's supposed to lead the Nigerian badminton team to the World University Games. Yes, he was a badminton champion for the country and represented the country and different world championships in the past. Enejo Abba, my immediate younger brother, he is going to be the coach. He's part of the coaching team to the World University Games. It's unfortunate with the recurring decimal has reared its ugly head again. How can we say we don't have funding for sports? It simply means we're having poor management because we have an appropriation for sports at least every year in the budget. When you look into it, we are supposed to have an appropriation. And if we are not having any funding for World University Games, it is obvious that we have mismanaged our resources. But we need to think outside the box and find a way to ensure that these athletes attend the World University Games. We don't get that opportunity so off all the time. I think they need to go the extra mile to ensure that the athletes are well taken care of. Source for money. I mean, we have a new president, and he seems to be cerebral in his thinking. And I believe he should. One of his targets is to uplift Nigerian sports, and this is a time to do that. Just to ensure that we attend the World University Games, we should not give any reason for our absence in the name of subsidy. I believe the removal of subsidy should make available funds to fund their trip to World University Games. Bash.
Yes, they should just make funds available for these guys because they are ready. I had a chit-chat with one of our discourse through a lady who said she was actually throwing discourse for fun, but never knew she would be on the maybe she would be among the athletes that was selected to be going to be donning the Nigerians University Games color right there in Chengdu. And right now, paucity of funds is about to stop all of these athletes that have qualified to take part in the World University Games. We just hope and pray that Mr. President, in the person of Ahmed Bola Tinubu, comes to their aid, because there's no sports minister right now. So who do they cry to? Even though they go to the sports ministry to cry to the sports ministry right now, it's the PAMSEC that is there, and I believe the PAMSEC can do something. But let's see how it goes. Probably now they've cried out. I believe Nigerians have heard them. So something needs to be done urgently so that these guys will be at the World University Games right there. I think I was lucky to attend the trials of the World University Game in my heydays when I was in the university. Then I was the sport director, SUG sport director, but I couldn't make the cut. But so far so good. I think our students will do well. Just that the funds need to be available right now because they are actually prepared. Let's move away from that story and talk about women's football in Nigeria. Now, the NWFL has released the championship date, the kicks-off date, and then the venue. The venue is in Ikenne, Ogun State, and then the date has also been released where we are going to get teams that will be promoted to the NWFL proper, that is the Senior Women's League in the land. But the championship will be coming up right there in the city of Ikenne in Ogun State. Now, I think that's the good news. But the truth is, our women has not actually gotten the attention. Our Women's League has not actually gotten the kind of attention they are supposed to get from the sport ministry, the NFF, and every other loving sport Nigeria.
Yes, I mean, it's unfortunate the women have not really been given their flowers, maybe outside athletics. I think that it's only in athletics I know that they get the attention, the needed attention. But sometimes when it comes to football, it's all about, it's like it's a man's world, it's a man's game. But I love the fact that the women, the organizers of the NWF league are really working assiduously to ensure that this comes to a proper culmination. The draws will be on the 7th, and then we're going to have like 12 teams that will square up for this battle. I mean, we have Kwara ladies, we have Ekiti Queens, you have Sunshine Queens, Delta Babes, Moje Queens, amongst other teams. There are 12 teams, you know. Of course, there will be match day 1. I think that should be on the 8th or so, and then it's going to be a series of 3-3 matches between Group A and Group B on a daily basis until the process is completed. All to get to play the Nigerian Women Premier League. I see it as a good move. This is the kind of a grassroots move we need to ensure that we have a solid league at the top, so that we can see our women have a higher, what we call, comparative advantage. I mean, when the big games come calling.
When the big games come calling, we just wish all of the likes of Ekiti Queens, Delta Babes, and the rest Sunshine Queens, we wish them well in that NWFS Championship that will be coming up in Ikenne. It's a good one. Let's see how it goes. Let's see the teams that will join others that still the likes of Bayelsa Queens, Delta Queens, Edo Queens, all the Queens, Confluence Queens of Kogi. Let's see the teams that will be getting that promotion to join them in the incoming season. Let's move away from that story and head straight to Mauritius, where Nigerian Black Stallions finished second as the overall best team of the pre-Olympic qualifier. The first, you can see it on your screen, the first team there is Algeria that beat Nigeria in the final, 24-5. They beat us in the final. We have Algeria, Nigeria. Let's have the rankings. Let's have the rankings quickly. Let's have the rankings. Algeria coming first, Nigeria coming second, and we have Ivory Coast third. We have Ghana fourth. We have Mauritius fifth, and then Mauritius that hosted. We have Senegal, Egypt, Botswana, Cameroon, Burundi, Congo, and Lesotho. Nigeria actually playing all 6 games. They won 5 and lost 1, and that was in the final. But we have been ranked second in this pre-Olympic qualifier. The qualifier proper will be coming up in Zimbabwe by September.
Yes, it's a good one. We have at least given a good account of ourselves, winning 5 of the 6 games thus far. I think it shows that we've been doing a couple of things right. We just need to focus and continue doing the right thing. Go back to the drawing board. Where did we miss it? What do we need to solidify? I think Nigeria is on the right footing for these qualifiers, and I think we just need to sit back and ensure that we have a conclusive finishing so that we can make the country proud.
We can make the country proud. Now, let's talk about this rugby, the sports of rugby. You know what rugby is all about. You know how the players are built. They look very, very big, strong, with muscles all around. Now, for the sports rugby, good one for Nigerians. This is not a sport that we've talked about how many sports on this show that are not that popular. But now, rugby game. How can we do to, because rugby is one of good sports, because if you talk about rugby in Africa, you mentioned South Africa first, you call Zimbabwe and the rest of them, but Nigeria is trying to hold his own. And now, how can we actually, because all of the players that went to Mauritius, all of them are foreign based, apart from two home-based players that joined that team. But how can we make this sport an acceptable one in Nigeria?
Yes, Nigeria, we have a numeric advantage. I mean, if a country like South Africa can dominate the rugby scene, why can't Nigeria do the same? If you look at the physical attributes, Nigerians should be at top of the rugby standings, because we have more physically gifted individuals. We have the numbers. We have the comparative advantage when it comes to people who are interested in making breakthrough in sports. It's unfortunate most of our athletes, most of our rugby players, I mean, are based abroad. First of all, you know, that rugby game is not one game that Nigerians embrace a lot, especially for the fact that it's a serious contact sport. I mean, the closest thing to boxing, you don't see too many people show interest in such a sport. But I tell you what, when it comes to Nigeria, we can do everything. I mean, Nigeria is I can do all things to he who strengthens me. Nigerians will embrace rugby if the platform is created, if the opportunity is given. I mean, if we can have rugby stadiums around the nation, 36 states, I mean, Nigeria will dominate the sports of rugby. But at the moment, there is no approach, there is no serious move by the Sports Federation to make sure that rugby gets embraced. The wide publicity has not really been given. That's why rugby is still down in Nigeria. But South Africa and Zimbabwe, of course, this looks like a Southern African sport. They are the ones dominating rugby right now. But if Nigeria can pay attention, I think we will just surpass South Africa in years to come.
We'll just surpass South Africa. I love that word, in years to come, because they are far, far ahead when it comes to the rugby. They've won the rugby. They won the World Cup, that is the Rugby World Cup in 2019. They also defended that title. So it's a very big one. It's a good sport. If we can have a rugby stadium that is talking about facilities all around the 36 states, not just we have in Benin. We also have in Delta State at the just last concluded National Sports Festival. I think those are the two places that have a word. Then in Sokoto, where rugby sport is actually accepted. Now we need to do more in that aspect, because Nigeria is a country that is full of talent. Like you said, Nigeria is a country that a place where you say, I can do it all through whatever that strength is you. Maybe the spirit of sportsmanship strengthens you, or the patriotism, or the green, white, green, the Nigerian flag, the horse, the eagle that is on top of our coat of arms strengthen Nigeria. That's a good one. Congratulations to the Black Stallions of Nigeria, making number 2 as the best team in that tournament. We just hope and pray they get the Olympic ticket right there in Zimbabwe when the qualifier starts proper in September. Let's move away from that story and quickly talk about transfer stories in the Nigerian Premier League, where a player from Remo Stars, Dayo Ojo is his name, is trying to join Shooting Stars of Akure. He was a player that played under Gbenga Ogunbete. So right now he's also he's trying to push a move to Shooting Stars of Ibadan to join Gbenga Ogunbete. Nigerian players are also moving. We're having transfers in Europe. We're also having our own transfer. But for Dayo Ojo, leaving Remo Stars, a team that will be playing in the continent, to join a team that will not be playing in the continent, is that a wise decision?
Of course, it's not a wise decision. I mean, if you hear Dayo Ojo, what comes to your mind is, he was kidnapped 3 years ago, and the kidnappers demanded for about 20 million naira. But we are happy that he got out of the Lions den, and of course, he's back to winning ways, playing for Remo Stars, one of the most organized teams in Nigeria. I mean, it's a team that goes via flight to every match day fixture, go fresh and refreshed. I mean, who would want to leave such comfort? I mean, for a 3SC that is struggling to stay afloat, I don't think it's a very good move. Probably because he played for them in a couple of years back. He felt maybe sympathetically driven, I mean, to go back, should I say, to his home. But professionally, I mean, career-wise, I don't see any reason why, I mean, that move should go through, because you are in Remo Stars, you have an opportunity to be in the continent. Your visibility coefficient is increased, I mean, in quantum leaps. So why would you want, I mean, to move back to 3SC? I would advise Ojo to maintain status quo where he is, if they can extend his contract.
Yes, to maintain status quo where he is. That is, if he can remain in Remo Stars, and to see, because Remo Stars will be playing in the continent and joining Shooting Stars. Maybe it's because of his personal relationship with Gbenga Ogunbete. He has actually played for this man previously, and he wants to play for him again. Probably they want to help each other and bring Shooting Stars of Ibadan to the continent, or probably win the Nigerian Premier League, as would be called, from next season. Well, it's not left for Dayo Ojo to make that decision. And quickly, before we go on the show, let's talk about the last transfer we have for you. Right now, we're heading straight to Europe, where Liverpool is ready to battle Real Madrid for the signature of the hottest player right now, one of the hottest players right now in the world and in Europe, Kylian Mbappe. Now, Liverpool ready to battle Real Madrid. Now, is between Liverpool and Real Madrid, who has the money?
Yeah, of course. Real Madrid is the #1 team on planet Earth. Kylian Mbappe has been the brightest prospect in the last 3 years, I mean, on the world continent. If you look at his take-home salary, you're looking at 1 million per week. How many teams can afford 1 million per week? I believe Liverpool, John Henry and the rest have the wherewithal, I mean, to cater for his expenses. But I tell you what, nobody will have an opportunity to go to Real Madrid and decide to pick Liverpool instead. I don't see that happening. Mbappe himself is arguably the best player in the world. He showed it in the World Cup by bagging 7 goals. We saw him go head-to-head with his teammate Lionel Messi. I mean, Kylian Mbappe is Real Madrid bound. I don't think it's even an argument. Liverpool should not just make that dream. Yes, they may want to win UCL. They may want to come back to winning ways because of the lackluster season they've had. But I tell you what, Kylian Mbappe is the most expensive player in the world. And I don't think the most expensive player will want to wear a red jersey, but he will prefer to wear a wild white jersey. Yes, I think Kylian is more real than Liverpool.
More real than Liverpool. But if Liverpool have the metal, the power, the money, but let's look at this way. Outside maybe having the money or whatever, or the strength to actually acquire his services. But the player, the caliber of Kylian Mbappe, let's look at the way Liverpool play. Is he going to fit into that team?
He may fit in, but you know, you have Mo Salah to battle with. Mo Salah will want to show that I'm the leader here, and Kylian want to show that I've been the best player in the world in the last 2 years. I mean, I played with Neymar, I played with Messi. Who are you, Mo Salah? I mean, Mo Salah would like to let him know that I am the sheriff here, and Kylian want to let him know that I'm the new sheriff in town. I really don't see him. I mean, I don't see harmony. I don't see synergy if Kylian goes to Liverpool. But I think the Real Madrid strike force will be more receptive, knowing that this is a franchise player coming to transform the fortunes and bring back the Ronaldo days, or should I say the Karim Benzema days. I think Real Madrid, I just want to keep maintaining their la decima, la undecima, la this, like that. They've had a series of Champions League victories, but it seems like they just want to always have the best player in the world, just like they did with my best player, Cristiano Ronaldo, for many years. They want to just have the most expensive player in the world. It's a Real Madrid culture thing, and it's driven by winning.
Yeah, this is a Real Madrid culture thing. They are called the Galacticos. Let's see if Kylian Mbappe will actually maybe sign for Real Madrid or sign for Liverpool. The decision is now left to him. Let's not forget that also Manchester United are also sniffy around that young man. Michael Idoko, thanks for your time on the show.
Yes, it's always a pleasure. And I just hope that they'll get a world-class coach for the AFN athletes so that we can have competition come Budapest.
So that we can have a competition come Budapest. And quickly before I say goodbye on the show, happy Salah, Baraka de Salah to all our Muslims faithful out there. From me, Emmanuel Fasheme, thanks for watching Sports is Life.